Well, it's summertime here in sunny California, and we've got the heat. We love going to the beach, bike riding along the sand, and enjoying all of the outdoor fun. Santa Monica Dermatologist Dr. Sonia Batra is here today to teach us how to keep our skin safe from the harsh and damaging rays of the sun. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
And one of the things I always have to remind myself is that you don't just have to put sunscreen on when you're laying out, when you're by the pool, right? I mean,
true.
this is especially here in Southern California.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much ambient UV, and there are three really good reasons you should be protecting your skin from the summer sun.
Yeah.
Last year alone, there were over 5.4 million new cases of skin cancer in the United States, and my patients are always surprised that this is more than prostate, lung, breast, and colon cancer combined. And parents of teenagers or kids out there, if your teenager has had more than 5 blistering sunburns, that increases lifetime risk of skin cancer between 68 and 80%.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of us have experienced that, you know, growing up as kids. And
Absolutely.
you brought some products here.
I did.
What do we have to look for in terms of SPF?
So SPF is how much the sunscreen actually protects your skin from the sun. So I usually recommend at least a 30, which is a 97% block.
Okay.
But remember, SPF really only refers to the UVB, which is the narrow portion of the spectrum.
Okay.
So when you look for sunscreen, always look for something like this that says broad spectrum, because that means it's actually going to block at least the UVA and the UVB, the whole spectrum of light, and that's actually much better.
And do you recommend something like Neutrogena over other products, or, you know, how can you kind of determine which one is best?
So interestingly, Consumer Reports actually tested products and brands over the past 4 years, and only 48% of the sunscreens lift up to the SPF on the label.
Yeah.
So one tip I give my patients is go onto the Consumer Reports website and actually look up which products lived up to their claim, because that's actually really important.
Yeah, that's great advice, especially when you have kids. You don't want to make mistakes there.
Absolutely.
And then what's this?
So there's some really exciting new skin protection products on the market right now. This is a UVO drink, and it actually comes as a drink and as well as a powder. And when I was looking up really exciting new products, this is one that has vitamins and antioxidants, and it actually helps prevent sunburn as well as repair from sun damage.
Just from drinking
So
it?
yeah, but it's a supplement, so it's not meant to be a standalone product. You can't just swig this and then go out and get a, you know, get an 8-hour day in the sun. But it's a really nice adjunctive way. There are other supplements too that are really exciting and new. There's a cleanser now, a wash-on sunscreen cleanser. This is a new product that you use just like a regular facial cleanser and leaves a protective layer on your skin.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. And it's the first of its kind for the FDA to actually approve this as a wash-on sunscreen. And then this is actually an antioxidant that you can take just as like a pill supplement before you go out in the sun. And it's also meant to protect against free radical damage. So there's a whole array of newer products in addition to the sunscreen that you can use for sun protection, especially here in Southern California where people are getting so much UV. My patients, my family, we're all out at sporting events.
I mean, yesterday I was just having lunch and I was sitting in the shade, and then before you know it, I was sitting in the sun and the sun moved, and you know, you're getting sunburned just eating lunch, you know.
It's true, and that's the thing. We're so fortunate that we have this outdoor lifestyle and there's so much UV, but I think really knowing what to look for is really important. And one tip I always give people is if it's between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., which are kind of the peak UV index hours, if your shadow is shorter than you, you should go find some shade. That means that you're really going to be out there and getting burnt.
I'm looking at my shadow now every time I walk.
Exactly.
And so this is Goddess Garden.
Yeah,
so this is organic?
So people now, it's so trendy that all of my patients, and especially my patients who are parents, are asking me what's organic and what's natural. So what to look for is really micronized zinc oxide or micronized titanium dioxide. This is just one example, but these are products that sit on top of the skin. They form a physical shield that actually deflects UV. And so they're much safer in people who have allergies, in small children, and they're technically the most organic or natural sunscreens you can buy, non-chemical.
And it seems like we're running out of time, but if you could get to the clothing really quick,
Sure,
because obviously this works, right? This is a good...
Absolutely, a broad-rimmed hat, at least a 2-inch hat. That's what we're always looking for. And then these are actually my kids' Rash Guards and my Rash Guard. They're very trendy right now. And they have UPF, which is zinc in the fabric that confers sun protection as well. UPF is just like an SPF rating, but for clothes.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sonia Batra. And thanks so much for being here this morning. And we're going to learn more about Dr. Batra and her practice in Santa Monica. Just go to kcal9.com, and we will be right back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.